Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a review of the 64 audio Volurs. I know a lot of you guys have been pumped about this particular set after posting a picture of these on Twitter. I did pay for these myself. This is an IEM that when I saw it and looked at the driver configuration and a lot of the information produced by 64 Audio, I just really wanted it as a potential main and a potential the set that will be my one high-end set. This is an S-tier IEM. I will have a new ranking system on my channel with the Wallhack certified IEMs, but this is a set that just has such a quantity of bass that never just leaves you unsatisfied in terms of a bass region, and one that just separates in layers better than anything else that I've particularly tried, especially with that much of a sub-bass and mid-bass response on the frequency. In terms of the Apple Performer 8, I know you guys have been wanting a little bit more information about these. I owed you guys a full review. I don't think I'm going to do a full review just because I've already had these in several videos. What I will say is the Apple Performer 8 will fall just slightly behind my Canon 2s. The response, though, is, in terms of the tuning, is very different between these two. The Onion Canon 2 having more sub-bass and mid-bass response and definitely having a prevalent effect in that regard. I think the bass is a little bit better textured on the Apple Performer 8 in terms of technicalities, and the Performer 8 does have a nice amount of bass, but definitely a more neutral set, one that stays very clean, concise, has beautiful imaging, great depth, and I think the verticality and depth, though, is just a little bit better on the Onion Canon 2 in comparison. So the Onion Canon 2, for me, I like the tuning a little bit more. It brings out the footsteps a little bit more, and the stage, the depth, the verticality is just a little bit better for me than the Performer 8. So again, the Performer 8 is Wallhack certified, just going to fall slightly behind the Canon 2, maybe slightly above the Orchestra Lite. A very nice set if you're looking for a clean, concise, and clear set that still has a very nice, well-textured and fast bass response. A very nice set in the Performer 8, and I think handles music in terms of my library certainly better than the Kiwi Airs Orchestra Lite. So a very good set, extremely well-performing, one that will just fall right behind the Canon 2s, both going to be B+ rated on my tiering system on the Google document that will follow. In terms of the 64 Audio Volur, this is a just insane IEM that I've, again, never quite experienced something just off the bat that was so mind-blowing. And what I mean by that is taking these in-game, you just have this impactful, rich, beautiful bass response that is, again, up in quantity and volume, but the separation and the layering just doesn't take a hit. These are so good in terms of the technicalities and providing air in that region between notes and between things going on with fast decay that just performs so good in game and just beautiful in music as well. In terms of the IEM, I would definitely refer to these as holographic in 3D. You hear everything perfectly around you in terms of imaging. The depth perception is absolutely immaculate, and in terms of verticality, a beautiful presentation of both things going above you, below you, and all around you. For the modules, I do prefer the gray over everything else. My number 2 would be the silver, and I'll show you guys the modules here in a little bit. Oh, and just so you guys know as well, I do have the default cable from the 64 Audio Volurs on the Canon 2s right here. It's a nice cable, but it is a 3.5 cable. I would have liked for them to, and one of my complaints, I would have wished they had included a second 4.4 fully balanced cable in the box, or even a little bit of a nicer cable in the box that was fully balanced. But overall, a pretty damn solid unboxing experience. I just wish for the price of admission, there was maybe a second fully balanced cable. This is a hybrid unit. It's got 2 dynamic drivers in a truly isobaric configuration, handling the low end. It's got 6 BAs handling the mids, 1 additional BA handling the upper region, and also a TIA driver, which is proprietary to 64 Audio. An exceptionally good driver configuration, and one that caught my eye because I'm just not used to 64 Audio having the dynamic drivers, particularly dynamic drivers in the isobaric configuration. So these were described as being Just a very impactful set in that lower region with, again, that elevated mid bass. And I do get that in game. The footsteps are very apparent, very out there, and a very good set for getting a lot of those audio cues that are going on around you in terms of those thocky footsteps. And again, separating and layering beautifully with the air in between the notes just being exceptionally good in terms of its technicality. Despite the bass being very up there in quantity, the vocals are just absolutely excellent and extremely good in terms of their technicalities as well. The bass does not cover up anything else in the range, and the mids are very transparent, revealing accurate in terms of timbre, and the upper mids I felt very accurate as well. In terms of the bass response, it's got a very natural timbre to it as well, but it's a very fast bass response in terms of its technicality. It's smooth and just very well textured, and you get that punch that, again, just leaves you satisfied. You don't want any more. At least I don't think I would need any more than what is provided on the 64 audio, especially with my pairing on the Shit Bifrost and the Burson Soloist 3X GT, which are sets that add a little bit of punch and emphasis in that rumble in the lower regions. In terms of the upper mids, the only thing that I felt in game could have been drawn out a little bit more is that region with people popping shield cells and some of the frequencies of those light taps. You still get it, but I just wish it was brought out a little bit more. That would be my only technical thing in terms of a gaming perspective that I wish was a little bit more prevalent. But in terms of everything that you're getting here, an absolutely phenomenal IEM in terms of its gaming performance, one that is 100% S tier on my channel, going to be my current daily driver, and the upper end IEM that will be my one that I keep out of all of these sets that I have right now. In terms of music, the soundstage is wider. It's also, vocals feel a tad bit further away from you. The singer in most tracks feels a little bit further. I like that, and you hear every instrument happening around you just with better technicality in terms of its positioning in the space. I hear things on this set in terms of resolution, people getting closer and further from the microphone, breathing into the microphone, when their mouth is getting a little bit dry and they're slurring a little bit. You hear and pick up absolutely everything. There's things in a lot of tracks that you will hear that are things that aren't anywhere near readily as noticeable on the Performer 8 or the Canon 2. So a very well performing set, beautifully textured in the bass region with that quantity, and again, just extends throughout the range with the upper region feeling, I never felt it to be sibilant. I felt it to be very clean and clear with enough air and beautiful timbre in terms of those cymbal strikes. Just nothing that I felt to be fatiguing in any way with this module configuration. To show you guys the interior of the box, you will have a full tray of different ear tips. You've got the wide bore, you have the more narrow bore, and then you have your foam ear tips. All of the ear tips do change the experience quite a lot on this particular IEM, with the foam ear tips changing it the most. And then you also have the modules, which I was referring to earlier. You've got the gold, the silver, the black, which do correspond with numbers on their website and on the different frequency graphs that people have prepared. Again, my favorite is the gray that comes default on the IEM. My second favorite was the silver, then the gold, and then the black. The black, in my opinion, just feeling a little bit fatiguing to me. But that was my order in terms of gaming preference. But I also prefer the gray for my music listening library as well. This is not the default cable. Again, this is the Danube cable, which I threw on this because I wanted to run this fully balanced with my 4.4 cable. So the Danube cable, I think, matches pretty damn well with that faceplate just looking absolutely beautiful, and the build of the IEM being nothing but stellar with a very nice fit for me. I do not have the default ear tips on either. I am using the Sedna EarFit Max ASMR ear tips. Before these, I was using the SpinFit W1s, which do perform very well. I did find, though, that the stage depth was a little bit reduced on the SpinFits that I was using. These actually perform absolutely perfectly and are exceptionally comfortable. So closing thoughts, it is an expensive set. If you are in this price bracket, this is a very good set. It's very fun. It's different than anything else that I've tried because of that quantity of bass, but still being able to provide that layering and separation and just a beautiful holographic experience where the mids come through absolutely crisp, clear, and absolutely full of technicalities, and getting into the treble with cymbal strikes and the air in the region feeling clean, crisp, and just absolutely exceptional in terms of timbre. It is a bass boosted set, and that bass boost does carry over and provide some nice emphasis for those footsteps in that range, the thockier footsteps. But even again, once we get to some of the higher frequency footsteps like tapping on metal, everything is just exceptionally well done while providing a amazingly fun experience, an accurate and technical experience for both gaming and music. If this is not what you're looking for a music experience, your opinions for music are going to be different. Again, it's a very bass boosted set, and one that is a very good performer, but might not fit your music genre depending on what you're looking for. This is going to be S tier for gaming because it is kind of a unicorn. It's that first set that has been able to provide that experience in that lower region while having and providing all the technicalities. The set is absolutely amazing, and I can't recommend it enough, again, if you're in this price range. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.